Shauna or get Theo. Theo, you got to come to work tomorrow, Theo. 10 o'clock, we're going to have a commission.
We can't hear.
Who is we? Okay, can you hear us now? Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Yes, we can hear now. Yes, we can hear now.
Okay. There's been an announcement made that the commission meeting for Thursday will be moved till Wednesday, tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
Is that okay with you?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
All right. 10 after is time we started our meeting. I'd like to call our committee meetings to order at 10 after 9 on Tuesday. I appreciate everyone being here, and I hope everyone can hear. Since we started streaming, we hear some complaints that they're not able to understand what we're saying. So that's what I'm trying to do now is talk more loudly than I normally would. Let's begin this meeting as we do all with a word of prayer. Mr. Marcus, would you lead us in a word of prayer?
Oh, yes. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the ability to get together and do your business. Help us to forgive each other, love each other, show the rest of the country how to behave and take care of each other. And Lord, forgive us of our sins. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. And I'd like to announce at the beginning of the meeting that the regularly scheduled commission meeting, instead of Thursday at 9 o'clock, it will be held tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the commission chambers. And all media will get the proper notification. With that being said, let's begin with our work session. Does anyone need to go first? Are we good? We just go through the line. Commissioner Scales will not be here today, and I'm going to take her committee agenda. First of all, you have Public Works, Community Service, and Intergovernmental Relations. The first item, three items, is related to the ESD department.
Sure. I'll, number one, it is a renewal. It says 1 year. It actually runs through April 1st for advanced disposal. That's the household residential garbage pickup. Now, our intention is actually to rebid this contract by the end of this year. We know there have been a lot of issues with advance as far as their service level.
Right.
And so, there were supposedly some issues with COVID related and how they could get trucks out, but just haven't seen a whole lot of improvement in their service. Gives them some time, number one, to improve their service, but our intention is to rebid this.
But this is when is the contract, when will it start, and when will it end, and when will it be?
This would run through April 1st of next year. Now, the reason for the long lead time is if you get a new vendor, it takes a long time to set up the billing and to get the garbage trucks and the containers and everything else out. So,
when will the bidding start?
September, roughly. Intention is to get the bid awarded by the end of the year.
You know, I'm going to speak out against that. Had I not gotten a minimum of 20 calls per week in my district. And had this not been a renewed contract from poor service from the previous contract, the excuse last time was that they needed new equipment and that they were having trouble with their labor. So they went to new equipment and new mechanical garbage cans to make sure that they were able to pick up on a timely manner. Well, that hadn't happened. And I cannot, and this is just what I picked up for about the past month. I have made management aware of it. I think you were made aware of it. Cal, I know you were made aware of it. I made Advanced Disposal aware of it and their representative aware of it and told them that this is unacceptable. I don't know about y'all's constituents, but mine in District 3 has had enough. They do not want to deal with Advanced Disposal anymore. They've had their choices, they've had their ability to come back and get it done, and I have called everyone and his brother. And if it's not 3 times a week, Cal, am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong, okay. And that's unacceptable. We cannot, in good faith as a county commission, expect our management staff to continue to say we're gonna renew it one more time and give them one more chance. This needs to be a policy decision, and our people expect more. No, they demand more. They demand more from us on something like this, and I can't support that. Sorry.
We have had several calls in our office. I know they've had a change in management, and they'll try to do better, but especially in one particular area in the Grayson Valley area, my district, is just repetitive, that they can't seem to get the garbage picked up, and it's out there 2 weeks, and then they do complain. Now, I probably don't have as many complaints as Commissioner Stevens, but I do know that in that one area, it's just totally unsatisfactory. So, how quickly could you rebid it if we don't renew this? I mean, what happens then? I don't want these people to be totally without.
Right, and that's really the issue, is you really, because you have to get a new company in to set up filling, and they have to get trucks, and they have to get labor, and they have to get containers out. It is a months-long process, and after you award it for them to actually get that. So that's really the issue, is if we don't have something in place, we don't have anything to even hold Advanced Disposal to the level of service that they have now.
Yeah, that's gonna be y'all's fault for not doing it heads up.
Well,
You know, you can blame the Advanced Disposal, but this didn't happen day before yesterday.
Yeah.
This has been ongoing.
well, let me give you a little bit of history here. We started back in December of last year, working on doing a renewal. It was announced basically, I think, December, January of last year that Waste Management was acquiring Advanced. And so it took, we didn't get a whole lot of, we were waiting to see what would happen with the Waste Management merger. That's still kind of on hold. I think there's some antitrust things going on. And then you had the disruption with the COVID. And so we didn't actually get anything back from them until June, essentially, that said whether they wanted to renew it or not. So we were kind of up in the air whether Advanced was going to be there, was their service going to improve or not. So
You know,
And we also get complaints from some of the cities who have contracts with
yeah,
them too, so,
here's Adamsville.
yeah. Morris,
Yeah, Adamsville, Morris, Shady Grove. Hey, hate to bother you again, Commissioner, it's been 2 weeks since they picked up.
yeah, that's what I get, a 2 week.
You know, good gracious, it's not that these people are complaining. These are good folks, and they don't expect, city type pickup, because they don't pay city type taxes. But they expect their county services that they contract with to be services and not be, here's another one, 2 weeks. This is really getting ridiculous. The guys miss our street every single week now. Friday is our trash was missed again, the entire street. They missed our again on Friday. John Anderson, who lives at 2191 Scenic Drive, Forestdale, called with trash and picked up on all Scenic Drive. I'm sorry. Cut it off now. You know, I can go all the way down this thing, and it's deep.
So what can we do?
Well, Commissioners, I would add too, one thing that's time consuming is the citizens having the time to choose a new bidder. This is not a county service that the county taxpayers are paying for. The citizens, we bid it out.
Right.
And they get to choose them. So once we change vendors, it takes a lot of time to get all that set up, and get the carts out. And I take responsibility for this being delayed. We thought, you know, we heard the story that when COVID hit, everybody went home, the amount of garbage they had to pick up, and this happened with all the garbage services. People were cleaning up the yard so much, debris, everything, all the garbage services were behind. But we hear you loud and clear, and I think we're gonna go as fast as we can to get it rebid, so the citizens have a better choice. But with that said, we feel like continuing with this temporarily one-time extension is still the best thing, best choice for the citizens for the next 6 months.
If I vote for that, I just might as well just sign my death warrant. That's as much as I have here. I cannot in good faith. Now, this is something that's been going on for years. This hasn't been going on for days or weeks. And county management was aware of that from day one, and they understood, because every email that I get, or most every email I get, I forward it to the management. And you are aware of it. And if we're gonna wait till the contract's over and say, well, would you give us a 6 month and then we'll bid it, that's not on me. That's not on me. And I can't do it.
So what is the alternative, Mr. Denner? I mean, we can't just stop.
Well, if there's not a contract there, then it just, they can still get service through Advance, and individuals are still free to get their own service. It's just not practical. They can't go negotiate with,
Yeah.
somebody else and get their own service. So
But
having a contract is better than not having a contract. One of the provisions in the contract is the county gets $100,000 a year to administer that, and so without that, I think that revenue stream is not there for the rest of the year. So there's that consideration. So I think it's better to have one than to not have one.
Maybe they can use that $100,000 to hire some folks to pick up the garbage. You know, something like that. Because I'm not representing y'all guys, I'm representing these citizens. And if we can't get the job done properly, if these folks can't get the job done properly, y'all might have to get someone that will. And Tony, you've been very, very quiet. I think,
We were under the impression that the merger was going to happen. It hasn't happened. I don't want to lay any excuses out, but it's unfortunate where we are today. And as Cal said, he takes responsibility, and I will take responsibility, and we'll rebid it. Or if y'all don't want to pass this today, we'll just leave it alone.
When does it expire?
April 1 is when the service would actually run out.
Well, why are we
Now,
rebidding
what we
it?
can do, and this is one of the things that we will do as we bid this out, is when we get the bids in, we can negotiate with vendors to get them to start service sooner rather than later. And so what we can do is as soon as we get bids in, some of the vendors say, yeah, I can start service in a month or 2 months, then we can get that, and then we can terminate the rest with advance early if we do this. If not, if there's no contract, there's nothing really to terminate. We just get
Did
the
you say
notice.
that it's what you're asking us to do is the extension ends in April?
This runs through April 1. Is
So
that-
what's the current, when does the current contract end?
That original 3-year contract ran out in this past April 1.
Okay. So
We've already
we're
given them
operating-
one, we've already given them one extension, am I correct?
No, this is the first. We did a 3-year contract, and so this would have been the first extension. Originally, we wrote in there, that the contract was a 3-year extension, and with everything going on, we were not at all interested in a 3-year extension. But like I said, we started this negotiation process actually back way before April of last
So
year.
we're already beyond the original 3-year contract
Right.
and been operating. So what would keep us from doing that, getting it bid without a current contract?
Nothing, because we're actually moving forward with getting the bid out now.
I moved to pass this, and let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks. But I would certainly get something rolling, because if I'm this company and I know I'm not gonna get the contract, then I'm not gonna have any incentive to do anything that's gonna, help the citizens at this point. And if I'm an employee of that company, I'm probably gonna look for more work somewhere else, knowing that this is coming down. So I would say I'll pass on the extension and roll it over 2 weeks, but I would put it in gear to rebid it post haste.
Yeah.
So that's my motion.
We have a motion to continue this for 2 weeks.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Second's Dick Smart.
Item number 2 is a software agreement, this is to comply with the Alabama One Call law that starts in January.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good.
Item number 2 is a railroad crossing agreement for a sewer replacement project on Ten Mill Road. It's just $750 for that. And then item number 4 is an ALDOT agreement for some city of Birmingham work.
I move 2, 3, and 4.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. There are no other items. Commissioner Tyson.
Good morning, everyone. Department of Community Service and Workforce Development, Dr. Hunt.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning. Sorry.
The first item on our agenda this morning is for Raleigh's Place GED High School Diploma Program. It's an out-of-school youth program that will work with the local businesses for apprenticeships and interns for the participants. Number 2 is for Workshops, Inc. It's also an out-of-school youth program tied in with our workforce development program. It's for work experience for youth while they're obtaining their GED. Number 3 is with Sims Contractors for the North Smithfield Manor Storm Shelter 2. It's a final change order for the project. It is complete, and we owe the contractor $767. Number 4 is a PY 2019 CDBG ESG Home Amendment number 3 which allows us to amend that claim to add our 20 CARE CDBG funds that we received from HUD as it relates to the COVID-19 virus. We received $1,417,982 for CDBG. And the proposal for these funds is to do food services with Royal Divinity in the amount of $566,954. For you that are not aware of this nonprofit organization, it is a 501c3. They've been in existence since 2015, and they're currently serving 45,000 people in the county. They also have 65 partners that they work with on a weekly or bi-weekly basis for distribution. They're currently working in every commission district at this point in time, and the proposal is to do this program under CDBG Public Service, which requires an expansion of existing services, and as I just mentioned, they're already providing food services throughout the county. Also, as a part of the CDBG funds, we're proposing to do an agreement with the Salvation Army under their existing program called Project Share, which is a partnership with Alabama Power, the Birmingham Waterworks Boards, and Inspires for utility services, as well as rental assistance for those that have been impacted by COVID-19 and don't have the resources to stay in their rental units. Also, we're proposing $566,954 for this activity. We also have received ESG COVID-1 and ESG COVID-2. ESG COVID-1 was in the amount of $706,121, and the ESG COVID-2 was in the amount of $1,485,652, for a total of $2,191,773. What will happen is the county will receive these funds, but we plan to subcontract this work out to One Roof, who is the continuum of care for homeless agencies in Birmingham. And they will use these funds for increased HMIS, or Homeless Management Information Systems reporting, street outreach to determine the needs of those living on the streets and meeting those needs. And then they will also work with some of the partner agencies within the continuum to do things such as personnel costs, shelter operation, and supplies and PPEs. The agencies that they'll be working with will be First Life, Firehouse, Pathways, YWCA, Interfaith Hospitality and Family Violence Center, as well as Youth Towers. They will also be using these funds for temporary hotel stays for those needing shelter where there is no accommodation, and also for homeless prevention and rapid rehousing. So that is our proposal for these funds. This is just for our plan. We will come back later with the contracts and agreements, but this is what we will do to approve this and submit it to HUD for their final approval. Then we'll move to the contract stage.
Do you anticipate any problems from HUD?
I don't.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I basically had a discussion with them with our proposal before we actually put it together, and they went full support.
Awesome.
I'll get a motion on the floor to move out.
I move it.
Then first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. And that was 1 through
1 through
5.
5.
Yes.
1 through 5.
And Raleigh's Place,
Yes.
I would recommend you watch their video called Removed. It's
Okay.
awesome. It's awesome. And that's a good program.
All right. We'll-
Really, really good.
Have anyone here for family for it?
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Removed. Just a little
Behavioral
video.
intervention.
Look up, Google Raleigh's
Or
Place.
electronic monitor.
Do remove.
Update equipment. Can I get a motion on the floor to move that item?
So moved.
Second.
Then first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I have, in my,
I move 1, 2, and 3.
then first and second, all of those are my grants. favor say aye.
Aye.
I have a person that we are taking off of the JCC,
JCEIDA.
IDA board.
We ain't taking him off, I think he
No,
resigned.
He's resigning.
I think his plate's full.
He
Because
moved
He got a
Shelby.
promotion.
Oh,
He got a promotion on his job and he changed position.
a big
But
shot.
he moved out of Jefferson County.
Right, and so he's.
Moved out of McCall.
So he's being
Moved out of
replaced
McCall,
with,
went to
with Tony
Hoover,
Smoke.
Jefferson. I moved to
Second.
appoint Tony Smoke to the JCEIDA. board.
Second.
Okay, it's been first and second, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right, that's the end of my report.
Good.
All these. Infrastructure Committee, got roads and trams, we've got 4 items. Cal, Heather, you wanna do that?
Commissioner, the first item on the list is the contract for the replacement of the Glasgow Bridge project. The second is the module, the Radley module for the barcoding. So we have the Munis integration, CityWorks, and then this barcoding software as part of our inventory tracking. Then we also have an agreement with AlDOT for some passive warning devices at Connie Village Road, CSX crossing. And the last is an agreement with Bessemer and AlDOT to do the denied access portion of 18th and 19th Street, and then the section there, they're paying us to do all that work. So there's no expenditure for us.
They're paying us a lot. Or is it even, break even?
They'll pay us to cover the complete cost of the work.
Maybe 1 through 4.
We have a motion, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Not much coming out of the county attorneys, we have a lawsuit settlement,
Move
and
it.
then the minutes.
Move 1 and 2.
Have a motion, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sheriff has an East Central Alabama Highway Safety Office.
What is that?
I have no idea.
This is a grant the sheriff's office gets every year, and the document asks for the governing body to sign on it as well, so it's really ministerial.
We did one of these last year, right?
Yeah, it's every year, and it's a grant that the sheriff's office gives, but they ask the governing body to sign off on it, so the sheriff's already signed it, so it's just a formality.
What's the amount, do you know?
I do not know.
It's East Central, okay.
But we did that.
I'll move it.
Second.
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We have, also, this is just information on meeting with the sheriff at 11 o'clock Thursday to go over his budget item. Well, because we have budget hearing coming next week, so as soon as I get information, I will pass that on.
And our budget team has offered to meet with him also, if you would like for that team to meet with y'all, they'll do that. We've been trying to get something going.
That would be
Taking them
great.
up.
That would be,
So if we could
appreciate
get
that. If you'd
Angela,
like to,
Lena.
appreciate you. County manager,
Yeah,
have a
the-
resolution establishing compliance officer. Huh?
Yeah, the first one is the compliance officer. This is, we discussed this at the last meeting, and this is something that we need to do to move forward with. The compliance office will report directly to the county manager's office. The other items, 2 through 8, are CARES Act items that have been vetted by our contractor, and the first one is the video streaming services here at the county, so that we can do the video streaming and have good audio, good video, and this is the service being paid with CARES Act money.
Are we firing Helen?
What's that?
Are we firing Helen and Jacob?
Now, Helen won't, she'll still be involved, but not as much. But it's a great program, great service that they have, and the quality is very good.
Was that them out there earlier?
No,
Okay. Somebody sitting up there earlier, I was just wondering.
I don't know who that was. The number 3 is Cooper Green. They submitted several items up and it's $613,918.
Is that the items for the facilities like the?
For Cooper Green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was vetted. Widow Bryan had a lot of questions, but we were able to get this done. The next is City of Hoover, the $27,534, phase one of the Hoover Helps Community Backpack Program. It's a great program. They involve a lot of churches in the area providing the services for the kids. Number 5 is...
Excuse me,
Yeah.
is this, Cal, is this the feeding program that we, were?
This says backpack.
Yeah, they call it a backpack program, but
Maybe
there
it's back
was
snack.
a program that Mayor Brocato had asked me about way back when.
Yes, it.
This is it. This is,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that Joe got it. We made it.
All right.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right, the next one is Vestavia Life Pack. This is the 3 Life Pack and 15 mobile defibrillation devices for $135,000. Number 6 is Vestavia, $62,859 to fund the purchase of 17 mobile data terminals. Item number 7, Vestavia, $59,724 to fund the purchase of 8 Motorola two-way radios consistent with the eligibility review. And then the last one is City of Mount Brook, touchless doors for the library, $5,008. These were all reviewed by Widow Bryan and signed off.
I'll move.
We have a motion, and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I just want one question.
Question.
Just information on the compliance office. Is that moving folks around or is that
Yes.
positions?
It's separating from the HR so that the compliance division reports to the county manager instead of having a potential conflict of having to report
Yeah,
to
no, I get
HR.
that part. I
Yeah.
just didn't know if you're taking folks out of HR, if it's going to be
Yes.
new people.
Yes.
So it's just moving.
Yeah, no new hires.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a better way for it.
Okay. Now we have District 3 other business. I would like to amend this first resolution. That actually should be to reappoint me to the Legislative Committee and Commissioner Knight to the Executive Committee. When we did that, that's normally a 4-year term that carries on, similar to the way the NACO terms that we appointed. So this needs to be a pen and ink where it needs to include Commissioner Knight also.
I'll move the item as amended.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a community grant for breast cancer research.
Move it.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Move 3.
And 3,
Lisa
to Lisa Smith to the fire district. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grants that are in the system that haven't been signed off on yet totally. And you have, and Commissioner Tyson has 7. I'd like to read those and if, for unanimous consent to get them, because we get late on the year.
Well, I think we had kind of waived this toward the end.
Yeah.
Do we need that unanimous consent vote, Theo, to get them on the agenda now?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
So I would move for unanimous consent for consideration
For
of all
7.
grants.
Okay.
Second.
And then I'll
So-
move them.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? So we have unanimous consent. I'll begin these and then you do yours. I have $5,000 to the Birmingham Fire District for the purchase of a UTV vehicle to help access remote areas in the fire. And here is one that was intriguing, and I appreciate the legal helping. It's the Antioch Fire District. Now, the Antioch Fire District is actually in Tuscaloosa County.
I believe that this is in Tuscaloosa, but they serve.
It serves the Providence area, out in West Jefferson County, and they're going to actually build this station and have a joint agreement similar to where we have, one in toward Shelby County, where it will serve the residents of Jefferson County.
Correct.
And we've cleared this through legal, and we cleared it through our, county manager's office to make sure that everything was right. And that is a $10,000 one, and they're going to build a fire station and service some people that have never been serviced before, which is good news. Mount Olive Fire and Rescue District, $5,000 for radio equipment, that will be compatible with other areas. McAdory Fire District, $10,000 to replace outdated equipment and personnel gear for their firefighters. And then $9,000 for the Minor Heights to replace the aging and damaged extraction equipment in their fire areas. Those are the ones that I have now, Commissioner Tyson.
I have Jefferson County School Board is $6,000 from our infrastructure. Jefferson County School Board $3,000. Bessemer School Board of Education $15,000. Birmingham Urban League $25,900. Bessemer School Board of Education $500. And Hawkins Functioning Injunction will get $1,000, and Virtue will get $1,000 of my community grant.
I move all of them based on getting them through the process.
All approval, motion been made to approve all grants.
Second.
If they make it through the process, have a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Angela.
And there shouldn't be too many left coming, I don't think. Commissioner Knight.
All right, we have,
Good morning.
is Angela going to start us out?
We have the item number 1, the unusual demand report. Item 2, the purchasing agenda report for the weeks of July 23rd through the 29th, July 30th through August the 5th. We have the purchasing exception report, the encumbrance reports, the procurement report, and item number 6 is a contract for Warren Everett to complete the CAFR audit. Item number 7 is a public service grant for Independence Place.
I have 1 through 7. Do I have any questions? Have a motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Under Budget Management Office, we have some travel. Some of the travel is already occurred, so if you see some old dates, we'll make sure to get the receipts for those items before we release the checks.
I do have a question.
Okay?
On item 1, the district attorney Bessemer, all this is, 2, 4, 6, it's about 14 or 15,000 from 19,
From my
2,000.
understanding, these were paid from a different funding source, and they want to use the county funds to reimburse the funding source.
What source were they paid from?
I think maybe they may have paid from the discretionary account, and, but maybe somebody on the line that can answer the question.
Someone on the line want to take that one?
Yes, this is Valerie Hicks Hale. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, we had spoken, I mentioned briefly to some of you that we did not have an accountant who handled that. And so we got one in, they left months after they arrived. And of course, with the system being as it is and hiring, it took us almost 2 years to get an accountant. So that's the reason for the travel vouchers being as delayed or dated as they are. There was a small discretionary fund that the DA's office has, and that's where that money was taken in order to make the payments for the travel. some of the travel was paid for by the individuals who will be reimbursed as well.
Did we approve this travel through a commission meeting?
Oh, yes, the travel
Yeah, but this
has
is in
been approved.
19, this was last year.
Yes, well,
But we approved this, a year and a half ago?
Yes, it's
Oh.
my understanding it was approved.
well, we need verification that it was approved.
It probably came through, but what does this do, Ms. Poe, how does this work? Where's this money gonna come from? You just gonna replenish your discretionary fund, and do you have this money in your budget to do, or is this a new ask?
No, this is not a new ask. The money is there in the budget, actually under travel, because we weren't able to go attend the convention, and CLE, that we were supposed to attend this year.
Right.
So the money is there.
Okay,
It's not a new ask. And, yes, that money was supposed to be used for other, for other items out of another budget that will be replenished.
okay, I think I understand. Ms., do you have any problems with that?
We'll just make sure we get the receipts, because we still have to.
Yeah, we still need all those
Make sure-
receipts and
Yeah.
verification that they did attend, I guess.
Yes, sir, we have those.
Okay.
And I checked with our county attorney, if this wasn't approved, if we do it now, it will act as a tacit approval for it, so.
Sure.
It will what?
It will still actually, if you pass it here, it'll still be approved.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a problem,
Yeah, I
because
know
we
they've
always
had-
pass these, so.
They've had some issues with accounting for some period of time, and those folks are required to have their continuing legal education.
I know, Miss Valerie didn't do well in arithmetic in school. Oh, I didn't say
Had
that.
I would have been a doctor, but,
I moved the item. I think it's already been moved, hasn't it?
You have, she got a question about that.
It's not about this item.
Okay.
I just have an item, I'm sorry, did I interrupt?
It's 6.
Okay, I had a question. You know, at one point, we had kind of stopped travel. Did we rescind that?
We haven't, that I know of.
Out of state travel, and we, back in, when we shut down, we said no more travel out of state. We're still doing the in-state.
Okay.
Which they also are required to have their continuing education since they're
Right.
not had state and had kind of used to that.
Yeah.
So I just saw travel here going to Orange Beach in September.
Yeah, they,
So-
Well, that's in state. That's in state.
and
Well,
that,
I get that. I don't get the difference between in-state and out-of-state right
Yeah,
now. But,
yeah.
you know,
Orange Beach is in the state, isn't it?
it kind of is what it is. I could go to Anniston and, it'd be the same as going to, Meridian or something. So,
but it's 17 people going from family court on that, and they're getting the CLEs in the program. Generally, they have a lot of folks there, but it's much smaller. The administrative officer courts have assured them that they're going to be doing social distancing and everything to protect those
I'm not
employees.
sure they do it the right way.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not so sure I would test them when they came back. 17 people at a conference at one time,
yeah.
people from all over the state.
Same thing, kids going to school,
Yeah.
we're sure the numbers are gonna go up. Just.
Yeah, and this
is.
is this the filing fee? I mean, it's kind of cheap to go to Orange Beach. Or is this a conference? I mean, a video conference?
No, it's a conference.
And I guess another question that I would have, are any of these folks doubling up the rate? Are these, and when I, what normally you do, Commissioner Knight and I have, we didn't like it, but we did.
I didn't like it.
See? But, when you do things like that, we need to if we don't have a protocol, we need a protocol, and especially when you have this many people coming out to a conference that's going to be at least statewide. And, then we need to come back, we need to have an assurance that, I know what goes on at these conferences. Okay? And I understand that there will be socialization. No one is going to sit at that conference throughout the day and night and be socially distanced with a mask on. So we need some type of protocol when they come back to make sure that they don't bring it back to court, or family court.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Cause you got 2 family court, and then you got,
If you don't have a second, I can't say. I agree. There needs to be some kind of, because you can end up with a whole lot of people out all at once. And be out with the proverbial three.
I have a motion and a second to approve this travel to Orange Beach for 20 people who will follow strict social distancing guidelines. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. All right, now this last one with the BMO, District Attorney Bessemer. New Orleans, Atlanta.
Did we do the individual staff development?
Yes. That's one we're on now.
Okay.
I see some out-of-state stuff. Now I guess we need to either we're gonna follow our out-of-state guidelines or we're not. So here we are. We have a forensics conference in New Orleans. I would think that's important. But that's in 2019. That's District Attorney and Bessemer. Is that part of your same thing, Ms. Poe?
The forensic conference in New Orleans?
Yes. It said December 8th through the 12th, 2019.
I'm sorry, can you get, I don't have that document in front of me. Can you tell me the name on it?
James Brent Butler, out of the district.
Yeah, that was. Yes, sir. That was ours. It was a forensics in prosecuting
Right.
capital cases, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, but I guess my question is that of the same group that we just did that you paid for out of some other fund that you want reimbursement for?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got that one cleared up. Now,
And there's other ones in the past as well.
yeah, that was just recently. Somebody went to Atlanta July 14th. Adrian Ward Belcher for the National Black Prosecutors. Did that one occur, Ms. Poe?
That was online. That should have been online. That should have been CLE. She paid for CLE online.
And for $2,092.67.
That would have been if it
Can-
was. It's the date 2000. I'm sorry, 2020 or 2019.
2020. I'll tell you what, let's pull
Okay.
that one, and let's check on that one, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, let's pull that, Ms. Belcher, make sure.
That should have been 2019.
Okay. All right.
She did not leave the state. She's been here all this time.
Okay, so this is
this
another
July.
2019, so it's a pen and ink change to 2019.
I don't remember that organization
Yeah.
last year.
Okay.
It was 2019.
It was 2019, okay, so that clears that up, all right. Whew, man. Let's see. Okay. Anybody want to move individual staff development with the two pen and ink? With a pen and ink? On motion the second, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right.
We also have item number 2, which is budget amendment. We have run out of funds for animal control, and this will get us through the remainder of the year.
And this is with a, we'd have accounts receivable open from Birmingham, right, Mr. Lawson?
Correct, I've spoken with their city, as a matter of fact, I think that their budget is being presented, and they delayed their budget presentation because of COVID, and so as I understand it, the money is there to pay for the agreement. It's budgeted per the agreement, but their budget is going to be presented. I think they expect it to be put in effect the same time ours is October.
Okay, so we'll pay on behalf of them and then get reimbursed from them. Do I have a-
Where's that gonna come from in the meantime? Can you say?
Where's the money coming from?
It'll be from our fund balance. We don't have revenue to cover this year, so it'll have to come from fund balance. And I think Commissioner Tyson might have had a question about.
Yeah, about item number 6, I did over here on the page 8.
Yes.
with one-
Okay, hang on, let's get this one out of the way. Do I have a motion to pay this $250,000?
Motion.
With the understanding that we will seek reimbursement.
Well, we already have, it's just,
It's my understanding that they would pay it, but their budget normally would have been in effect with July 1, and they delayed the presentation of that budget because of COVID, and so the presentation committee today, it's my understanding that money is in the budget, so we will seek reimbursement as we, for these monies.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right.
Commissioner Tyson.
Yes, on number 6, that's on page 8, with 180, the auditors. I know I had talked to, what's his name, before he left, the other, John Henry. And I know I was told that it was, like he just started, but why are we doing a 3-year contract?
So the contract that was presented to me was a 3-year contract, but there is a 30-day cancellation, so we are not bound to stay with them for 3 years. We just have to give them a 30-day notice. But if we need to make a change, I'll defer to Theo how we need to make that adjustment. If that's.
And I guess to go ahead and just say it, John Henry or Angela cannot bind us with what we do. This is a contract, and every contract has to come before the county commission. And this is how this is being done. It's being done properly, and I certainly appreciate that. And I appreciate your explanation for the understanding of why. Okay?
That answer your
I
question?
understand, but
It didn't answer my question.
in your
Why
question,
we can't do a one, I understand she said the 30 days, but even when John Henry told us that, I talked to you, Mr. Patel, about that, and you told me that it would be changed. That they would get the other people would get the contract. So if he wasn't bonded in what he said, I should have been told that, because I had just started.
he can't do it, she can't do it. The only people that can do that is this board right here.
And I talked to you about the same thing, when John Henry told me that. You should have told me then that they was gonna change. he
When
told
you
us
say when
about-
they were gonna change, John Henry can make suggestions, as Angela can. And she made a suggestion. And it's up to this commission to either accept or reject that suggestion. And I think that's a process that we're going through. Now, right now, I have been a proponent to change.
I think I talked to you,
For-
I think I said something to you about it too.
About what?
About this contract, when John Henry brought it to us. That they were going to,
John Henry never brought it to us.
he brought it to me. I know you
Yeah.
told me about it, I asked.
I found out about it way after the fact, that there was
I did
some
ask you
kind of.
about it, and I asked the three of y'all about it, and y'all said, well, it's gonna change when, once they, finish the audit, then the, contract will go to the other agency. That's all I'm asking.
Saying it will be placed out for bids, and I think that that's the proper way to do it, but according to, Angela, she suggested because of the current situation we're in, that we needed to stay where we were, and I agree. So let's do that.
But for
And-
3
and-
years instead of a year? Why it could be a year if you're gonna change the contract, so why you put the document in?
We can make the change in whatever the
Well-
desired commission is.
Are you making a motion to change this from a 3-year to a 1-year, I guess would be my question. Is that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Seeing none, the motion fails. All right. All right. Is that, anything else, Ms. Tyson? All right. Now, let's go to Board of Registrars. Mr. Stevenson is out today doing I have a motion for 1 through 4. Do I have a second?
I will second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. General Services. Cal, you got that one, or you want me to do it?
I'm good. Cornerstone Detention Products is lock system at the jail, and Alabama Power LED lighting project, save us a few bucks. And then Birchville Panel and Associates, to begin looking at the design of our new animal control facility. Number 4 is a roofing contract for the Tom Floor Building. Number 5, solar control specialist of Shaw Enterprises. The courthouse security film, and the J.J. Morley Enterprises, Birmingham Courthouse Point Seal Project.
Then we got the Municipal Election Services Agreement. Do I have a motion on 1 through 15?
So moved.
Have a motion? Do I have a second? And a second. All in favor, please say aye. I'd like to just comment on the Birchville Panel and Associates. This is a architectural firm that designs animal control facilities. We're moving, finally, COVID kind of slowed us down a little bit. We've got some land that we're looking at, and we're negotiating that, but before we can really put our plans in place for the land, we want to contract with this architect so that we know exactly what we need, how big, how it's going to sit on the land, so that we can then get our infrastructure to it. The road maybe have to be readjusted, but this is finally moving forward, and it's a good thing, because our facility in Woodlawn this has been a long time coming. So kudos for that. I'll keep you updated.
Is this the one that's on Lakeshore?
Yes, yes. But we have to we need to know what we need and how to put it, and so that's why we've engaged the architect. And these people are specialists at this, so we're working with the Humane Society with them, and so that's a good thing. Human Resources. Kronos.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, Ms.
Caroline.
Brown. Go ahead.
Thank you. For number 1, the Kronos upgrade, Flash will no longer be supported January of next year, so any upgrades that we have to our web browsers, Kronos will not function properly. So we're requesting just $183,000 for that upgrade. It has been approved by the board. Number 2 is an extension of Heather Carter's contract for the stated salary. And number 3 is our health plan. I sent you all an email yesterday. I think we have good news here. Our guiding principles around our health plan has been to maintain a competitive program and to manage costs for the county employees as well as retirees. So our rates are not changing for the employees or retirees. or for the county from a cost perspective. Our contract is down $1 million from last year, based mainly on a decrease in claims, and the team has done a really good job negotiating no rate increases in several areas. That's where we are for the health.
That's good news. We appreciate that because there was a little bit of an increase last year, and I think we absorbed it so that we didn't have to raise the rates for our employees. And so keeping the rates as they are with the different programs we have now, it's good, and I think it's an attribute to the program that the HR has put in place for that, the pre-health screening type situation to let people know if they have a potential problem and get them into treatment early if they do. So, good job.
Move 1 through 3.
Have a motion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you, Ms. Brown. All right, I have 3 community grants. One's infrastructure, 2's have a motion.
She seconded.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That ends my report.
Yeah. Got one item for IT.
Move it.
Motorola Solutions.
Move it.
Second, please say aye.
Aye.
And one other report, I'm gonna have to see if he can make it, but, the new BDA CEO, was gonna be in town for Thursday, and I'm gonna invite him as an introduction to the commission. Hopefully he can make it tomorrow. He will be in town tomorrow, but I hope he can be here, and I look forward to, him meeting everybody, and he's a great guy, will be a great asset, with lots of economic development experience, so I look forward to him being here in Birmingham.
You might want to give an update on some of the economic development things, or at least tease everyone that, because we do have some good things in the pipeline.
We have a number of projects besides the ones that we've already gone through and approved with FedEx, and also with our student housing project downtown. And I think those are bigger, and they're going to get bigger as we go through brownfield redevelopments. Properties that were producing very, very little as far as revenue are going to be even bigger. There's another one in line that will be coming to us here eventually. But we also have another number of other projects that are deal with not only reshoring for some healthcare items and processes, but also distribution, as well as what we're doing at Hallmark to make those sites available. We're almost to the point where we have advantage sites up there. There are also a number of projects being looked at right now for McCall in our park out there. There are great, I don't want to say any names, but there's some great resources out there that are going to be expended. And then also working with a local group to support looking at how we look at the part of the food desert that we have in different parts of Jefferson County, and how and if we can be supportive of those. So lots of great things going on. BBA is doing a fantastic job with the regional economic development allies, where they've broken up into committees, and this is all of the 7-county region broken up into committees. And the one that I'm leading right now is on branding. How do we have a brand for our area that speaks to everything? And how do we use that the best way possible? And it's very much like how the Department of Commerce has their Made in Alabama. We want to make sure that we have something that speaks to us and what we're doing and how we're redefining the county and DBA. It's not a DBA logo, it's one for all of us, and we need to all get on the same page as it comes to economic development. Other parts of the state do it, other states do it. We need to make sure that we're getting down that road too.
I would really like to see the BBA and the Jefferson County partner in more of these brownfield redevelopments. I know we've done a great job on that one area. But there are so many areas over in the western side of the county that anywhere from the old U.S. Steel to the Fairfield Works, all the way down to Continental Can, there are great logistically friendly places where you have good ingress, egress, you have train, you've got road transportation, and you also have an ability to get to the Warrior Gulf navigation folks down there, where you can get to move large items. So if we can concentrate on that type of redevelopment, I know there's got to be federal monies there. And I guess I've gotten to the point now where I see them take down new trees. And when the trees go away, so goes your watershed, so goes all these other things. I would like to see them take and redevelop in some of these areas that have already been cleared and ready and are ready to go. And if there's any type of incentives that we can get federally, I think that if we can go with our BBA partners, it would be great for the entire community.
Absolutely.
And it would be environmentally friendly because we would be cleaning up a brownfield site, and we would not be creating any additional stormwater runoff, all kinds of benefits to it. And with those benefits goes an increased cost, and I understand that.
Well, but it comes increased revenue as well. And Faith, in my office, we sent her to a brownfield conference. She worked closely with Nan Baldwin with BBA and also our state partners and ADEM on how we can do that. Sometimes the federal grants are not as complete. They're limited to like $250,000.
Right.
When a cleanup, as we see with our latest project, was over 1.2 million in just the cleanup.
Sure.
So I agree wholeheartedly, and we always say what we're missing in Jefferson County is a lot of flat land. What we're not missing is we got a lot of brownfields.
Well, I think what a good thing would do would be to bring a presentation and let Faith come in, and maybe do a presentation, say, hey, this is where our brownfields are.
Yeah.
I mean, because we hear about it, we know, we see some, we know
Along
there's
with
some.
Alabama Power, EGA, and what Faith's been doing, they're trying to designate those areas and those sites. And it's just as easy as saying, okay, well, it was an old shop, it was an old mechanic shop, or a dry cleaner, or an old gas station, or it was owned by U.S. Steel. That's kind of a joke. I'm smiling when I say that. That's automatically a brownfield. So then it's just a matter of going and getting the testing done to make sure that it is. But if you know what the history of the property is, then we can very easily say that's a brownfield site and we need to go after.
Didn't we just do one over on 4th Avenue South that's
We did. It
a
was
brown, was that a brown,
yes,
that a brownfield?
It was a student housing project. There's been 2 student housing projects in that area that were both brownfield redevelopments.
DC Blocks used to be a brownfield.
That's
Right.
right. It was a partnership between the city, the county, and JCIDA.
And but that was a long haul. I think they did a lot of work, and then it kind of sat vacant for a long time. I don't know really the history, but that was a brownfield.
Which DC Blocks has had the option to buy the rest of that property, and that is in process. And DC Blocks has it under contract to purchase the rest of the property and then develop the other half of that property long term.
I would like to see some companies come here and start making pharmaceuticals in this country.
Amen.
That's
what I would, and that's,
Right.
I'd like to get a couple of those up at the Hallmark.
I agree.
Got some great people up there to work.
Commissioner Tyson has some.
The USDA Farmers to Family Feeding Program will start back in September. Everyone will be given a combination box. These boxes have to be refrigerated. It would be a gallon of milk, pre-cooked meat, fruit, vegetables, butter, and cheese, actually in the boxes. I want to give an update on the census. The census ends on the September 30th. Alabama self-response rate is 61.2. Jefferson County response rate had went up to 63.1. Lipscomb is 45.7. Midfield is 59.3. Fairfield is 58. Tarrant is 51.6. Centerpoint is 60. Bessemer is 52.7. Birmingham is 52.8. We have a big census event in Midfield Saturday, August the 22nd, from 12 to 2 o'clock. So they actually have mapped out the areas that they gave us. All of these areas that I'm giving you was assigned to us by the census. We're just going in and helping Birmingham on the back part out of courtesy. And that's the part that run into Lipscomb, like Roosevelt City, that area, we are actually helping them. So since we've been back in that area, their response have came up from 43% all the way up to 52.8. And they sent us maps out, and the maps show exactly where the self-response is not happening there. So we take the route vehicle in that area, and we sit up. We have the radio station and different people out, and we give away all the census trinkets that they give us. And Helen, she's been coming out doing videos and everything. And we have been getting a large amount of people come out with the self-response. The Respect Rally, they're giving us backpacks with supplies in it. So we think that will also help people come out. We have the Latino radio stations that will be coming out. We will have people that's fluent in Spanish, so they will be able to actually communicate with the citizens there and get them to actually come out to do the self-response. The census, they are out knocking on doors, but we're trying to get people to do a self-response before they can get out in that area because their staff have been cut really, really bad. So it's important that we get these people to fill out the census because it's going to help the county with the revenue coming into the county. So I think this is a nonpartisan issue right here. This is about tax dollars coming into Jefferson County to help make sure that we do a good job with the taxpayers' money.
Commissioner, what do the percentages represent? What does that mean?
That the percentages mean that that's how many in that city, that's how many people in that city is 59% of the people in the city of Midfield actually have filled out a self-response. So they want us to get them all up at least to 80%. So that means that they don't have to go out to nothing but 20% of the citizens.
What does the rest of the country have? I mean, what's a,
Well, the rest of the people in Alabama, the rest of
in other states.
They're having the same problem. They're having the same problem. So this isn't like the more richer areas. They know what the census stand for, so they fill it out without people really coming and talking to them about it. Because they have been educated on the census since they were like in elementary school. They actually teach classes and tell you what the census do. And that's what our schools in the city, they are not talking to students and to parents at the PTA meeting, explaining to them what the census report in 10 years, because you can send a child to school from 6th grade all the way to college for 10 years. So that means you can't go in within 10 years and make any adjustments to the census or nothing. So that's what you got to live with for 10 years. And that's what we keep trying to explain to the parents, that it's important that you fill it out because that's going to affect your child for 10 years. So if your child want to go to college, they could probably get more off of a Pell Grant or cheaper tuition if you fill it out. So I think, you know, we just gotta really start in the schools, like most areas do.
You've got a captive audience, believe it or not. All you need to do, you don't need to call everyone and go to every house.
We don't.
All you need to do is to go to the different school districts
That's what we do.
and get them to put in a lesson plan that's related to the census. Explain to them what's going on, make it required, okay? Because you have a captive audience sitting there in front of that computer. And they're gonna, if you just want a one-day lesson plan, takes care of that entire thing. And takes care of every kid in the school.
But they said they supposed to put it on the beginning of the school, when school started, they supposed to put it on the beginning of the classes, asking the parents to fill out the census with the number and the website on there when school started in Jefferson County and all the school systems.
Yeah.
They told us that they would do that.
You should see a big jump after that, because that's something, they won't come to the door, you knock on it, but if that computer screen comes up there and it's got the census, and it's got deliverables that you have to fill out in order to complete the lesson plan, you'll get it done.
And they sending out texts also and phone calls to the parents. So, and that's through the whole Jefferson County school system that's doing that. So I think that's a great effort on them trying to help us. I want to thank Helen again, because a lot of this stuff we wouldn't have if she wasn't helping us.
Anything else?
Alabama's also doing they got a contest, 32 counties, and it's sort of like the March Madness brackets. All these counties, they start out here in the bracket, and the one that gets the most people to sign up in the next 4 weeks moves on to the second phase, and then the third phase, and then the champion, they get $65,000 to their public school system. So that's kind of a pretty good incentive. Only problem is Jefferson County we didn't make the top 32, so we're not in the game. So, but that's pretty creative. I thought that was pretty good.
You know,
Good.
we're adjourned.
See you tomorrow. Thank y'all.